the Festival of Apprenticeships in partnership with BT Group, showcasing opportunities to future talent.
Hello everyone, how are we? We all okay? Good. Thank you so much for being patient with us today. My name's Emma and I work here at Manchester Met and I'm the Student Recruitment Officer for Degree Apprenticeships. If you need anything, you want to contact us in any way, our contact details are on this page here and they'll also be at the end. But welcome to Manchester Met. I know some of you have travelled quite a way to get to us today. It's lovely to see you all. So today we're just going to outline what degree apprenticeships are, how they work and how they differ from that of UCAS courses as well. Just to put into perspective, degree apprenticeships are just that. You do get a fully fledged degree, just like you would do if you do a 3 years undergraduate degree. And as you can see, there are different levels of apprenticeship, all with different entry requirements. But because you are working towards a degree as part of your apprenticeship, we do ask for similar entry requirements to that of undergraduate degrees as well. So what are they? As the name suggests, it's where you get time in work and also earn a degree at the same time. So in terms of full-time employment, you will be with your employer for around 80% of your time. Of that 80% though, you're given around half a day where you're able to complete off-the-job training. So this might be that you do your university work then, it could be that you go on a training course, it could be that you go to a conference, but basically half a day per week, your employer is legally obliged to give you time off to get some extra training in as well. You also get your full honours degree, as I've just mentioned. It's exactly the same qualification as if you'd gone to university for the 3 years. However, this is about 20% of your time. So on average, it works out around 30 days per week. And depending on which course and which university, your time is split differently. So it could be that you're in 1 day every week. It could be that you're in 2 days every 8 weeks. Or for some of our courses, because of the employers being distributed all over the country, they're literally in university for 1 week every year. So they come from all over the country, have a residential for a week and get their university work done then. So there are loads of different degree apprenticeships available, all in different sectors. And because of the demand for degree apprenticeships, I would say that these sectors are ever changing, to be honest with you. They're in demand, and because of that, they are quite competitive to get into. So I don't want anybody coming out of the room thinking they're a good alternative if you don't get into university. In some ways, it's a lot harder to get a degree apprenticeship, so they're not an afterthought, really. If you are serious about them, it's something to apply for alongside your university courses as well. So they are typically 4 years in terms of length. That's because obviously you're in your employer for 80% of your time. And like I said, we do ask for entry requirements similar to that of a 3-year undergraduate degree. So you're looking at around 104 to 112 UCAS points, which in A-level terms works out around 3 Cs and above. And for BTECs, it works out about 3 merits and above, or distinction merit to get in. We also look that you've got a good standard of English and maths, and to look at that, we check your GCSE grades. For some of our courses, you might be requested to have a GCSE in science as well, at level 4 and above, so that's the old grade C. That's just to make sure that you can cope with the workload and the academic side of things as well. So in terms of the benefits, these all look really good on the slide, but what I would say is they are quite competitive to get into, like I've already said. There are no tuition fees attached to these, so the businesses and the government contribute a levy towards your education, so you are not responsible for paying any of that back. You do get a paid salary. At Manchester Met here, we don't work with anybody that offers less than £16,000 per year. However, you could start on more than that, so around £20,000 to £25,000. Obviously, because 80% of your time is in the workplace, you will get significant employment experience, and what that does is helps you to contextualise your learning as well. So the work that you're doing in the workplace will help you at university, and the university work will help you in the workplace as well. And there are really good opportunities for fast career progression. If you did start off at £16,000, for example, it doesn't mean that you'll remain on that for the full 4 years. You're eligible for pay rises, you're eligible for promotions, just like any other member of that company is as well. So other benefits are obviously you're only attending university for 30 days per year, and it is a combination of assignments and assessments rather than exams. There's not many or any really degree apprenticeships that involve exams, but you do get a lot of work-based projects to do. And these are quite often used for both your university and for your work life as well. So you're not asked to do two lots of everything. It could be that you're just applying university knowledge to the projects that you're doing and getting marked for that. As well as the assessments and work-based projects, to pass your apprenticeship, you need to be demonstrating key behaviours and skills of that company and that sector as well. So that could be noted down as things like doing a presentation for your team. It could be project management, but there'll be lots of different things depending on which sector you get into that you'll have to show that you're able to do alongside your university work as well. And like I've already said, the study time is allocated by your employer during the week as well. I'm not going to say that you're going to get all of your university work done in that half a day a week, but it's a good start on your workload really. In terms of support, a lot of people think that apprentices are kind of stuck between two places and don't really belong to any, but that is not true at all. You have fellow apprentices that you will be on the same course with for the full years. That does mean that you might be working at different companies, but for your university work, they will become your network of support. You also get designated lecturers and programme leaders as well. So these people, again, will be with you, teaching you, be there to ask any questions to. And you're also part of the Students' Union as well. So the Students' Union, I'm sure a lot of people have already heard about, but the Student Union sits slightly separately to every university. They represent the student voice from the students' point of view as well. So every year they have elections for presidents and vice presidents, and they represent you as a student body really, as well as putting on all the fun stuff like the clubs and societies. And you will get membership of that. They look after your welfare as well as the university. However, you might not be able to access that as well as someone doing an undergraduate degree, because obviously you'll be in the workplace for 80% of the time, so you won't be able to go off on a Wednesday afternoon and play sport for your university, for example, unless you've got a really understanding boss. The skills coaches are the glue that holds everything together between your employer and the university as well. So they're responsible for helping you make sure you're on track, make sure you're attending all your lectures, making sure your work is to a good standard, and sort of being your support between the university and the employer as well. So they meet you really regularly, they meet with your employer, and they just keep you on track throughout your whole 4 years. You also get a workplace mentor, so they're people in the workplace that might be a team leader, or if you're working for a smaller company, it could be the head of the company that look after you in the workplace. So if you had any problems, you had someone there for support. In terms of transport support, there are loads of ways that companies can help you, so things like cycle to work schemes. They might be able to help you with bursaries and get into the university if you needed to as well. But it's definitely something to consider when asking and liaising with your employers. So in terms of the courses we offer, these are courses that we don't necessarily need you to have or be working at a company beforehand. So you've got the chartered management, you've got lots of digital design and digital user experience type courses. You've got a healthcare science practitioner, and you've got 2 lab scientists in both the chemical and bioscience as well. The way these work is that you would apply to the employer first off, and once you've passed all of their assessments, only then does the university find out about you. So these are the courses that we offer here at Manchester Met. And these are just some of the career paths that our apprentices have gone on to do. Oh, it's a bit ski whiff there, but you've got things like digital marketing executive, you've got digital data analysis, creative directors, software engineers, lab managers. There's loads of different opportunities for really fast career progression. These jobs aren't standard jobs, these are senior level jobs really, so they do pay off to go and do a degree apprenticeship. In terms of some of the employers that we work with, obviously there's some big names on this slide, but we do work with a lot of small and medium-sized companies as well. And what I would say to people applying for degree apprenticeships is that you need to think about what you want from that company. Obviously, it's really good to work for a big company, but are you going to get more experience from working on a smaller one as well? So don't try and discount things too early on. Applying for degree apprenticeships, like I said, is competitive, so having a good range of different companies that you're applying for does make sense, really, because you will be applying for more than one. In terms of searching for vacancies, I'm sure if you're in year 12 or year 13, you've heard about UCAS and you know all about the UCAS cycle. With degree apprenticeships, it's a lot different to the UCAS cycle. There isn't really a structure to it at all. You can find vacancies on all of these websites. Prospects at the bottom there is a really good website if you're not 100% sure which direction you want to go into. If you've got a certain job in mind and you're not really sure how to get there, Prospects has got loads of different ways for you to get into jobs as well. Not Going to Uni and the Apprenticeship Guide are all really good websites to look at in terms of what they are in more detail and the advertisement of apprenticeships as well. What I would say is setting up alerts is your best friend when you are looking for degree apprenticeships. You can do that on our website. So as soon as a vacancy comes live, that will ping across to your email if it meets your requirements. And the same goes for gov.uk as well. So setting up these alerts means that you don't have to trawl through all of the pages full of apprenticeships, especially at the peak time of applications, which seems to be between March and June. However, they can come out at any point throughout the year, and that's why it differs so much to UCAS. If you are thinking about going to university and applying for degree apprenticeships, make sure that you're staying on the timetable that your school and college give you, because it's a lot easier to withdraw from UCAS if you are successful in getting a degree apprenticeship than it is to start catching up with UCAS if you're not successful. So, in terms of the application process, this varies depending on the employer and the size of the company and how many applications they're expected to get as well. Most often than not, the first thing they'll ask you to do is fill out a CV or an online application, which tells us all about the skills that you have, all the different attributes that you might have, which will make you really employable to that company as well. The online application is just a different way of asking for all of the things on a CV, so don't let that put you off, really. And these are submitted directly to the employer. So like I said, we don't really see you until all of this bit is done. You've also got things like telephone interviews and tests that might be available. So I'm not saying that you will do everything that's on this slide, but you will have aspects of this, again, depending on the company. So a telephone interview is used by employers to kind of filter out initial applications. A test or an in-tray exercise is just testing things like problem solving and communication exercises. So it could be that you're given 3 scenarios and it's your job to prioritise them and tell them how you're prioritising and why you're doing it. Assessment centres sound pretty scary, but I think they're a really good opportunity for you to be able to show yourself to employers. Quite often it's quite hard to put down what you like on a piece of paper. Assessment centres show the employers what you like. They have lots of different aspects to them throughout the day, so things like it could be a presentation, it could be a teamwork exercise, but at all points throughout the day, people from that company are really watching you to see how you work with others, how you communicate, how you problem solve. This can lead to an interview on the day, but quite often the interviews are held separately as well. So the main ones in this process really that most people will go through is the CV and the interview. The rest just depends on the company and how many applications they get. So in terms of applying, you can register from now, basically, to start seeing what type of apprenticeships are coming up and registering your interest. And like I said, that really helps you out because you're not trawling through all the websites constantly. Look at the website, look at employer websites. Employer websites are really good to look at because they give you lots of information about the company that you can use in your CVs and your applications. So make sure you are making each CV tailored to the company that you're applying for. Don't just do a standard CV and send it to everyone. Like I've said, the peak vacancy time is March to June, but this can be at any point throughout the year. In terms of applying, the processes do vary, as we've already said, but the CV and interview tend to be the main parts of that. If you are successful, congratulations. This is the point where you will sign contracts with your employer, and this is where they will set out what's expected of you and what you can expect of them. And only at this next stage do we see you as a university. So that's when we'll ask you to fill out a shortened application to university to check that you're up to the degree side of it as well. And that usually takes place a few months beforehand. So probably about this time of the year, you'll start to enrol on your university course. And then the last step is you starting your course with us. So usually you'll get an induction week where you get to meet your staff, meet the other apprentices, and have a look around the university, make yourself at home, and you'll get that in your employer as well. So you're not just expected to know everything from day one. We do loads of things to get you transitioned up to the degree apprenticeships, so you feel comfortable with where you're studying and where you're working as well. So in terms of events, obviously you're here today, and we do have the Aim, Aspire and Achieve programme starting in October as well. So that programme is designed to help you with all of the application process. So we'll start with CV writing, we'll even do a mock assessment centre towards Christmas, and more details of that will come out via our school contacts and via Eventbrite in the next few weeks as well. So if you are interested in doing that, it'll take place on a Wednesday afternoon from 4:30 till 6 in this building, and we'll get you started on your application process. We've tried to keep it as short and sweet, but give you enough time to do everything with us so you're not having to do loads of stuff at home as well, because we know year 13 is a really busy year for you all. We want to get you up and running so that when these applications do come out, you're ready to get going with your application as well. We also have some open days, so a little bit like today, where you get to come and meet all the employers. We have presence at the open days, and you can come and speak to lecturers and see our team as well, have a look around the university. But it's a really good time to have a look at the university and see if it's the right place for you to study as well. So if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to take them in a group setting, or if you want to ask them individually at the front, that's fine as well. But thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
The Festival of Apprenticeships in partnership with BT Group, showcasing opportunities to future talent.